Hey guys, tonight I would like to show you a little tutorial of a bill organizer that I'm making as Christmas gifts for some of my relatives. I tried to do this video last night, but the one that I made came out screwed up. It's a little wonky. I might still, I'm going to definitely keep it. I just don't know what I'm going to do with it. So, I took two different ideas and combined them into one. Somebody had made a gift for someone else as a bill organizer, and they used regular paper and they made pockets in it. And then I saw somebody did a journal out of business envelopes, number 10 business envelopes to be exact. So I combined the two and I made this for myself, and I carry it with me everywhere I go, and I keep to-do lists in there. I keep my banking slips in there, bills due, as you can see I paid everything this month, my coupons page, I have a blank one for when I need something. I keep my address labels and my stamps in it because more often than not, I go to the post office, realize I forgot a stamp. Important stuff, which includes insurance cards, stuff for my journal, business cards of businesses I want to remember, appointment cards, and in here I keep my ledger paper for my monthly bill pays. In this, it's loaded with writing spots and pockets. There are some things I'm going to be writing in here. I haven't done it yet. But, certain account numbers that I need, this for my business or, for the kids. I've got pockets so that I can put things in there as I get them. A bunch of flips. And when I showed this to my relatives, they loved it. So I said, well, what better Christmas gift could I give than to make them one? This is also good if you know somebody who pays bills with the envelope method. I did that for a long time, and I went through a lot of envelopes doing it that way. What you're going to need is some pretty scrapbook paper. Cut. This, I had cut circles into it, which didn't work very well. It's fraying a lot because I tend to, sorry, I'm turning my autofocus off. I tend to go in and out of here a lot, and it's in my purse banging around all the time. So I decided to cut it more like this. This one here has it. I used washi tape to line the edges so that it's protected a little bit, So there's that. You're going to need some washi tapes, or you can use paints if you want to do it that way. I've seen people edge these with paints. All you would do is run it around the edges of the envelope, because I am not cutting the papers exact. The papers are a little smaller, and you'll see why. You need number 10 envelopes. I have this stack here, which I am recycling, and I also bought some today from Office Depot. I don't know if Staples has them cheaper. This box of 100 was $10 at Office Depot. And the Office Depot I went to was like really grimy. So I'm sure they have smaller boxes, just not where I went. You're going to need a trimmer to cut your scrapbook paper. And then you are going to keep your scrappies. All right, keep the scraps. These are going to be what makes your pockets and your tucks later on. Okay. Scrappies. So, what we're going to do first is move all this crap here. We are going to glue our envelopes together. Tonight's flavor, Earl Grey. I'm ready to go. I chose 10 envelopes each. Mine is 10. The one that I use is 10, and I feel like that's a good number. I'd say anywhere, use as many as you want. I don't think more than 10 is very good. or much more. You know, if you maybe you could push it to 12 if you do something like, if you're doing something for 1 month, you know, for each month. Take these tabs, fold them backwards. Fold them backwards like so, every single one of them. I'm sorry, all except for one. Okay, all except for one. My matte medium is falling onto me. Put it in my matte medium mug. Do this. And do this. These are for paying my taxes. I pay it online, so when they send me this every year, I keep these envelopes. I don't suggest doing this with this regular cheapo security envelopes because they are thin. They are made out of ooh, one of them has to be forward. They are made out of a terribly thin paper. Get a good glue stick. None of this purple crap. Get a permanent glue stick. Okay, I did mine with the purple and I've had to re-glue 2 of the flaps so far. Just go right along the glue line, all right? Just go right along the glue line. The place I made a mistake with the one that I made last night was that I tried gluing the whole flap and then it gets stuck, so they get all crooked, you know? But stick that in there straight as best as you could, right? And I have also learned from measuring these that not all envelopes, even in the same package, are created equal. Alright, first flap glued. Next flap. I have a string someplace here. Glue strings, apparently. Apparently this Elmer's glue stick. I do like this all-purpose glue stick from Elmer's. I've never actually seen them, so I don't know. I bought it at a thrift store, actually, and it was in the package, which is why I bought it. Which isn't saying much, because I have bought glue sticks in the package from thrift stores before, and they have been lousy. They've been dried out. But this one wasn't. It was only a quarter, and I really like the way it glues. This one's a little high, so I'm going to try getting it in there a little deeper. Like I said, all envelopes, you know, at least from the DOR anyway, they're not all the same. It's just like really nerve-wracking trying to get it to line up just so. Good enough, I guess. They're going to be a little crooked, I guess. Try straightening it out with this one. I mean, I guess mine's a little crooked. But like I said, I've had to re-glue some of mine. I just want them to be really nice as gifts, you know? I don't like gifts to be ugly. So, get this in there. Stop sticking. You know, they have this thing, save the stamp, pay the tax online. Yeah, well then stop sending me the envelopes and then charging me in my tax as well. But they send you the envelopes, you recycle, right? This would work if you had a whole bunch of business size envelopes from junk mail too. You know, I know a lot of those credit card companies send them, and I know a lot of you are keeping them. Don't even lie. A lot of you got a stash. But they are rugged, those envelopes. You know? Those are rugged. They are good rugged envelopes. And that's what you need for this. Okay? Get yourself something rugged, something that's going to hold up. I was thinking even in the future, I'm just doing this now to use envelopes and to show you how to do it. But I was thinking about making my own envelopes, right? Ripping apart one of these as a template, making my own envelopes, and using like a scrapbook paper, a cardstock scrapbook paper, to make them. But then I'm like, well, if you're going to do that, you might as well just make a customized journal instead of just doing envelopes, you know. So, but I went to Hobby Lobby today because I needed rug binding to fix a rug I just bought. And they had black and white cardstock scrapbook paper. I think it's like 60 sheets or something. and they were $2.50 a piece, so they had 2 left. I bought them both. But they are like redoing my whole Hobby Lobby in the city. Every single aisle was filled with boxes. I don't know if they're just stocking up good for Christmas or what, but it was like a madhouse in there with employees. Not even with, not even with customers, but with employees stocking. I mean, there were a lot of customers in there today too. They are having a really good sale at my Hobby Lobby this week. I don't know if they are for you, but they've got like 50% off all the Christmas stuff, and 50% off Paper Studio, 50% off all fine art, the Master's Touch brand, which I like their paint. Cool. Oh, that's okay. They're okay without frosting. We haven't gone grocery shopping, so we are resorting to making cakes for a nighttime snack. I feel like these were much easier to do on my first one. They're not really fitting very nicely. They're not playing nice with each other. Alright. My envelopes aren't playing nice. Because they're not fitting nicely into each other. This video almost didn't happen tonight because I had a very mad 10-month-old. We're trying to like regulate a nap schedule because she gets tired at like 4 in the afternoon, and then we have a night like last night where she was up dancing until midnight. She like wakes up at 8. It was nice. She used to take a nap around 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and then she'd be up until noontime, and then she'd sleep until like noontime, then get up until about 2, fall back asleep, get up around 4:30. It was nice. Alright, so this last one, you're going to put in here. You're going to tuck the first flap into, okay? So let's glue our first flap. Come on, you silly little flapper. Try bending it maybe. And it's getting stuck on the corners, I guess. Fold it over. It's not perfectly straight, but it'll do. Ooh, I did it wrong. I'm sorry. I did it wrong. My water is on the kitchen table, honey. Yeah. All right, unstick that. This flap goes in here. That's what it is. This goes in your last hole. I'm very sorry. See, this is why my video didn't go well last night. Because I just forget. I've only made this for myself, and I didn't even make mine right. Alright, so fold this over like that. Yeah. And this flap you're going to fold over, and it is going to be like a spine, which is why if you did many more than what I have, it probably wouldn't go very well. Okay, so there you have a whole book, and then in the back you have 2 open sections. You don't have to. You can close one up, but I won't, because I want this to be completely useful 100%. I don't understand in the tutorials I've seen why they didn't do it that way and why they had it, why they did cover it up. It's an envelope. Utilize the envy part of the lope, right? So these pieces here, how I did these was I cut them, obviously. Let me start with the measurements. The standard business size envelope, okay honey, is 8 3/4 inches long by 4 1/4 inches wide, right? So what I did was I did everything but 1/4 of an inch, and I'll tell you why. I cut all my pieces 8.5 by 4, and the reason why I did that is because then you get 3 pieces from 1 sheet of scrapbook paper. If you did the 4 1/4, you would only get 2 pieces and be left with a big chunk on the edge, which you don't want. You don't want that. You don't want to have more excess than you need, right? You want to be able to use all of that piece of paper, and you're going to use just about all of it. So give yourself 1/4 of an inch. If you're doing paper, and when you line it up, right, you're going to do the paper, you're going to line it up, you're going to have, obviously, a space around the whole border. You can paint that. You can take your paint, right, and go around the edges. And if you're going to do that, I suggest you do that before you glue these together or anything. Just paint around the edges. You don't have to paint the whole thing, just where it's going to be showing. I suggest you do that before you glue. If you're following along and you have already glued but you decided you want to paint, do it now and just throw a piece of wax paper in between, you know, and dry it, or put it on really thin so that it dries really quick. Okay. I am going to use washi tape, but I am going to glue them. The way I cut this slit was I stuck it in here, lined it up as best as I could in the light, and I cut the V out. Obviously, you know, that's pretty much not rocket science. So you're gonna go around and you're gonna glue these with your permanent glue stick. Okay. Okay, glue it the best you can. You know, remember, you are going to be adhering it. If you're washi taping, you are going to be adhering it with the washi tape around the edges, but don't assume that the washi tape is going to hold, especially if you're using some cheaper brands of washi, which I have some cheaper ones, but I have started buying the Scotch brand washi tape, and I am really into the Scotch. The Scotch washi tape. That stuff is serious, and it holds. And last night when I was doing the one that's kind of wonky, it was actually ripping the scrapbook paper a little bit when I had to readjust the washi tape. So I highly recommend the Scotch brand for durability. I also highly recommend the Duck brand, obviously, the duct tape brand. Theirs is really tough. I use that one too on these. And I have a couple of cheap ones that I got from AliExpress, but they weren't that cheap, actually. I think I paid $1 a roll for them, which is quite a bit for AliExpress when you think about it. A lot of times you get a few of them for $1, but now you pay a lot for AliExpress stuff, because now they charge you a ton for shipping, some of those vendors on there. So I've started using, well, on the Geek app. Geek is owned by AliExpress. So I've stopped using the Geek app, and I just use AliExpress, or eBay also has the stuff from China too. Speaking of eBay, I am so mad. I bought a whole bunch of Christmas dies because we're making all of our ornaments for the tree this year. Because I don't want to use my husband's antique ornaments, you know, with the kids being little. So I thought I had ordered an ornament die, but come to find out, I paid $2.50 for ornament die cuts. So, and they're not even, like, they're on just colored paper. They're not even on cardstock. I paid $2.50 for 4 die cuts and a couple of die cuts that I can't even tell what they are, on black cardstock. I was like fit to be tied when I opened that package this morning, because that ornament die would have been awesome cut out of cereal box, you know, painted cereal box, you know, that would look really neat with glitter. But no, somebody just sold me their die cuts. which is a cool idea if you think about it. So, but that is a ripoff. $2.50. You and I both know that it only took her about 8 seconds to make 50 of those die cuts, right? And she's charging $2.50. But it doesn't look like she sold a lot of them either, so I just wish I had read the whole description instead of just ordered it, because, you know, when you're looking up dyes, it's my fault. I should have. Then today I thought I was buying Aleene's, and I thought I was getting it at some kind of a steal. Come to find out, I thought I was buying Fabri-Tac, because I thought I was getting it for a steal, but it's just Aleene's. So now I have Aleene's clear tacky glue. You know. So I'm just batting zero today, I guess, this last week. I'm so mad about those die cuts though, because that would have made amazing ornaments out of chipboard. Sorry if I'm getting my big fat head in the way. The only time you'll ever hear me say that my head is fat, because it's really not. The rest of me is, but not my head. Alright, I just try and make sure that I don't get like colors too close to each other. I don't know if you're OCD like that, you try and space out your colors. But, I mean, this organizer, it has saved my life organizationally. It is so nice having everything right there, and, you know, you're out on the road, which we do a lot of driving. We're out in the country. So to do anything around here is like at least a half an hour. Today, the city, an hour away, you know, are the locals, the nearest city that has all the stores. So, you know, when you're driving a lot and you have to make an important phone call, and, you know, you don't have the business card, or you don't have the account number, or, you know, your medical card number, it's tough, you know. So I have that, and it works out amazingly. And then I know where my stuff is, like when I have to get my ledger sheet to pay my bills, which I do everything by a ledger, and then I mark how much I pay every month. And when I have to get out my ledger sheet, I know right where it is. Before, I used to keep it like somewhere in the vicinity of the kitchen table. So it was nothing for me to lose that thing and then take half the morning finding it and then the other half of the morning paying my bills. You know, so it really is like a blessing. I suggest if you're going to make these for Christmas, throw together an extra one for yourself. You know, throw together an extra one and carry it around on you, or if you're a guy and you can't put that giant thing in your pocket, right? Keep it in a drawer right next to where you sit, you know, in the living room or in your dining room where you pay your bills. Keep it in the top drawer of your desk. You know, I put all of my bills that come in that thing, and it's, you know, even if I can't fit it in the envelope part, because they're just envelopes, you know, it's not like made out of wood. You can't put 400 things in there, but even if I just tuck it in the vicinity, it has a lot of give. It does have a lot of give. So, you know, and then if I'm someplace and I say, oh, well, am I going to have the money for that this month? I can pull out all my bills and say, oh, yeah, you know. Or if you do everything online, which I do a lot of it online, and you have a ledger sheet like I do, you can just pull out your ledger sheet because you carry it on you. You don't just keep it at your house anymore, you know, unless you're a guy, because it would be kind of weird to carry this big thing. Sorry, I can't make a smaller version of this that is still functionable. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So, but this is a terrific gift idea. Every person you know pays bills. Every person you know has to maintain a household in some way, shape, or form. every person you know, this could be good for gardening. You could put your empty seed packets in here so you know which varieties you got last year, right? Charts of different areas, your flower beds, and then your vegetable garden, and then your herb garden. I kept the tag from the grapevines I bought so that if I have a problem, I can look directly at the brand of grapevines that I bought, and I can look it up online and see what they suggest for fertilizers or whatever. Which, in FYI, every grapevine needs just nitrogen pretty much. They don't really need much fertilizer. These are going to go on the other sides. Okay, so we're just going to take full pieces, full 4-inch pieces that we did not cut the V's in, like these, and put them on the undersides. This is where I went wrong in my video last night because I had forgotten about this, so I didn't have any of these cut. So I stopped recording. That was just a nightmare video anyway, so we are just going to do this way. I love this letter. I love this paper pack. Oh, they have paper packs too, 50% off it at Hobby Lobby. The Paper Studio brand, I think. I think they make paper packs, right? I didn't buy any paper packs because I'm trying to use up. Aren't we all, though? Oh, I could have bought some because I'm making some gifts for a couple of little girls that I know. And I need some girly paper. Like pretty girly that little kids would like. But then I'm like, well, I'm sure I can find something in my stash that I can use. Because first I was going to make them little journals out of like candy boxes, but they don't eat candy. Their mother doesn't really let them eat candy, and they are the type, they're the type of family, they stay away from the dyes and stuff, so I don't want to get a candy box for kids that don't eat candy. So it's just going to be pretty much, I'll just have to figure it out. Just have to figure it out, man. But I know I got some floral paper, so maybe just floral will be nice. But in that pad, I might have like rainbowy papers in the paper pack I have that I'm thinking of taking it from. And if not, then I'll just order a pack off of Hobby Lobby because this stuff's on sale until Sunday. So I'll just order it online and pick it up in store. Because we go out to the city enough. Although I'm not doing any Christmas shopping at Target this year, which I love Target for TOYS. But I was told yesterday that the Target in the city has bed bugs, and there are 3 Targets in the city, so I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to risk it at any one of them. I can't afford bugs. We live out in the country, so I have enough bugs. Fortunately, we have not had a whole lot of bugs this winter so far. During this cold, it's not winter yet, but usually in the cold season we have something show up. The only problem we've had is when it's a little bit warmer out, we have these wasps that are humongous, and they come in our house and they take forever to kill. But they don't go after you. They're not aggressive. It's almost like, it's like they're sleepwalking is what it reminds me of. They're clumsy and they're like banging into things, and they fly around and they bang into my ceiling fan and bang into the wall. It's like they're drunk because they're not used to this warm, cold. And we're getting a few of those ladybugs, the orange ones, which aren't really ladybugs, even though everybody calls them ladybugs. They're actually a harvest beetle. And if you kill one, they will show, the rest will, not the rest, but groups of them will show up to the funeral. I have tested this theory right here on my craft table because I had one on my on my glue mug the other night when I was in here. So I killed it and let it go into the mug. And then all of a sudden, I wasn't paying any attention, and a couple hours later, 2 more were in the mug. So I killed them too. And then I just left them in there, and no more showed up while I was working in here. But I bet you if I left it overnight, I would have had a party of ladybugs. We have a lot of them upstairs because we haven't closed the windows up. We have just started insulating, and I think it's the insulation, even though it's not all the way up the walls because of the way the walls are built. They're like if you could see them, they're like totally nuts. You can't insulate the whole wall unless we took all the beadboard down, which we don't want to do. So we insulated from the bottom as far up as we could. And it seems to have slowed them down, but the windows still aren't sealed. So we're going to have to figure out like a way to seal the windows. My husband did a good job buttoning the windows up down here. So we're probably going to do that up there too, but I think that they're a little looser up there, so I might have to do that plastic. We did that before too, but I didn't have a blow dryer here at the time, so we used his heat gun on the lowest setting, but I think even on the lowest setting, it was too much because their holes developed throughout the winter, and I know that holes don't develop in that stuff, you know. So I think that that was our fault, you know, for having the temperature too high. But now I have, you know, a handful of blow dryers here, so we can seal them up again. I got a whole other package of that plastic, which works perfect for the 5 windows I got to seal up there. You know, so I have no problem doing that. And then the bugs stay in the ceiling, you know, and in the springtime you can see just how well that ceiling stuff works. That window plastic works for bugs because it like fills up in the plastic. Alright, so, this one here. Darn it. Let's do this pretty orange wood looking stuff. What's on this side? Yeah, that'll be nice. Oh man, look at this awesome glue stick. I'm gonna have to go to like small sticks now. Ah, poop. I do like the Avery. I have a whole package of the Avery glue sticks, and I just bought a package of Dollar Tree glue sticks. I know that so many of you swear by those glue sticks. I'm so mad it's out. I know I could scrape the rest of it out, but you know, who wants to do that? So, stick that on there nice and pretty. Okay, I am going to take this green stuff and go over my little spiny here because I don't want to show this ugly businessy crap on the spine. So I'm going to start at the edge here, so I got plenty of tape to go around. Oh, look at that. It was like meant to be, right? Look at that. This is also Scotch. It is a masking tape. Like I said, I'm obsessed. That Scotch tape is amazing. And I found a store down here that I can buy it pretty cheap, so. It is a liquidation center, and they have tons of Scotch washi all the time. Alright, now for the super tedious part, which is washing the edges. And you can never get it totally perfect. Oh, it's such a pain. So I grabbed different washies for each page. Alright. You know, these are the few that I got off of that Geek app, and this is a duct tape brand one. I'll start with the duct tape brand. I have one of these cheap ones on the edge. One edge, actually both edges, it looks like, are cheap tape. And it's peeling off pretty good. So I'm going to use good brands on the outside, on the outsides. Okay. So I'll show you how I do this. It's pretty tedious stuff. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now. It is time consuming and it is tedious. And I love this paper though. This paper pack, actually, what I was trying to tell you earlier before I started flapping my jaws about Hobby Lobby. I got this particular paper pack from Joann's on one of their clearance days, and it's one of the big ones, you know, like 180 sheets when they do theirs 50% off, and I think this one was just called Textures. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 90% sure because I feel like I can see the cover of it in my head and it just said Textures. And I do know that they still have it. I was there recently and it was on the shelf. So it has a ton of different colors. There's, you know, a half a dozen textures in each color. And they have a ton of different shades. Like they have 3 or 4 different greens, you know, 3 or 4 different blues. There's some beautiful colors in there. They have some great looking, you know, vintagey style textures. I am not going all the way up with this, and the reason why is because the tape looks really weird, and unless you want to do like separate pieces going all the way up, it does look pretty weird going all the way up there. So I'm just doing it right here so that you know where the opening is, and it makes the opening a little rougher for all the things you're sliding in and out of there every day. Alright, I didn't do this on the openings of mine, and mine are all frayed up and crap, you know, they look like crap. So, go through here, do all this washi tape on the edges, okay? I don't bother with this top part. That's just, you know, that's fine. So on this one, I'll do green. I like this leaf. These are really cute considering how cheap they are, and these ones stick pretty good for being the Ally, you know, I say AliExpress, the ones from that Geek app. These ones are pretty good considering they come from that app, because I have had horrible luck with all the other ones. I paid $2 for one roll of Galaxy washi tape, and it doesn't even almost stick. And I am so mad because I used it to go around the edges of pages in my lap book that I'm doing, and it came out awful because they don't stick. So I tried to reinforce it with other tape, and it just looks terrible now. You know, even though I tried to put clear tape, it just looks awful. So I have to redo that whole section. So due to the discouragement of that, I put the lap book aside for a little bit, and then I'll revisit it when I'm not so mad at it. That's my way with projects. Like, I get mad. I get mad at my projects and I ignore them, and then I come back to them. I'm not going to do all of these. I'm going to do the pockets. I'm going to do the accents on my other book that I did last night, so that you don't have to sit here and watch me washi tape. I just figured I'd get a couple done to give you an idea of what to do. If you do, even if you do paint, I really do suggest putting something around these edges, just because, you know, just the opening edge, because you're going to give this to somebody as a gift, or even if you're making one for yourself, you're going to make this for yourself, and in a couple of months, that's going to be all torn up right there if you're using it regularly like I use mine. And if you're giving it as a gift, you don't want somebody to to take your gift, be excited to use it, get 1 month out of it, and then have something rip. Like, I am a huge advocate for reinforcement. Reinforce your stuff. Absolutely. Okay. I'll put this one aside, and I'll finish this one later. Now, we're going to want to take our extra flaps that are 12-inch pieces. I'm going to put my washi tape back over here in the corner. For these, I distressed the edges on mine. I'm probably going to distress the edges on these with just my gathered twigs from Tim Holtz. That's the only real good distress color that I have right now. And I'm going to use my corner punches. I only have 2 corner punches. That's all that I feel like I need. I've looked into other ones. If I ever, if I could find one at a good price, maybe I'll get a different kind. But I like my corner rounder and my little decorative corner punch. Alright, let me grab my Tim Holtz. Grab my dauber. I can't pull my drawer out. So I have to like stick my hand in there. And I'll grab my gathered twigs. As you can see, I put my little sponges. I get the small Tim Holtz, and the little pad fits perfect, so I can just stick it on there, and I'm ready to go. Alright. This piece here has accents on the corners, and I want to keep those accents as they are. So this one I'm going to fold in half. Okay? And I'll grab my book here and fold that in half like so. And I fold it in half again. And I fold it in half again. And I fold it in half again. So that I can just easily tear it, because I love that look. I do it to journal pages when I'm making a journal. Yeah. Oh yeah. And I like the whole thing, but I am going to try and keep that piece right there. So I'm going to fold this in half like this. Okay, line it up perfectly and fold it so that it is like right perfectus. I'm going to run both of these through my corner puncher, and it's going to be a little tricky. Oh no, this paper works out nice. I forget. This is nice paper for this. Okay. So do that. Take your ink. Get it nice and distressy. I hate inking things. It makes me nerved up because most of the time it comes out like crap. I don't know if it's these dauber pads. If anybody has any experience with these and feel like these work worse than the other ones, let me know, just so I don't feel like I'm losing my mind. And I'm going to put this one down here like this, okay? And I'm also going to make another one. Get it perfect, right? Get it perfect so that it doesn't look stupid. Alright, and then that's going to have a nice leaf going that way. So let's punch these corners. A-boom. Oh, that's my problem with this Fisker's punch, is that sometimes the corners come out a little ugly. I have on my wish list one of the crocodile corner chompers. So I was thinking about getting one today at Hobby Lobby, but I'm sorry, I'm cheap, and I can buy that one at Hobby Lobby with the 40% off coupon for the same price. I could just buy it off of Amazon and not use the coupon. I was looking at that cutter too that goes through everything. That was the same way. I was like, oh, I can't justify paying $120 for this cutter when Amazon has it for like $59.99, I think. Alright, so we're going to have to glue this on, and since I'm out of my cool glue, I got to use this crappy. Well, no, this one is Craft Bond by Elmer's, and I'm not dissatisfied with it so far. A glue stick is a glue stick is a glue stick. Just stay away from the purple stuff, okay? If you're going to do me any favors in life, just don't use the purple one. And if you have luck with it, let me know how you have luck with it, because I just don't. I'm so mad at the purple stuff. I have started an en masse journal. I'll be making videos of that too, just not right now because I'm still in the collecting phase, but I did do one page last night. I did the page of bottles, and it came out so awesome. I will show you that before the end of this video. I'll pull it out for you and show you my bottles page. And I covered the whole thing with the Walmart matte medium. Happy with the Walmart matte medium for sure. So go out and spend $3 or $4 instead of $16, please. Okay, please. I'm gonna go in the corner on this one, I think. Ooh, no. I'll do a little pocket right here. Okay. So let's get a little pocket on this one. Actually, we won't do anything on this one. How about we go to, what do you say? Yeah, I'll do the same paper, right? What do you say we do the yellow? Blue on the yellow, I think would look nice. So I'm going to do it this way, and the reason is because I want it to be a little bit longer. All right, this makes it a very narrow pocket. The pockets on mine, I could really only fit a business card in them. So for these ones, we will go a little bit bigger. Okay. All right. I knew you'd understand. Take this, rip that off. Come up here with something round and largish. I'll use this. If you have a big circle punch, this is perfect for that. Center it somewhat. I don't have a big circle punch. Again, I almost bought one today with the 50% off the Paper Studio stuff. It would have come to 10 bucks. But then I'm like, and you know, I tell myself, oh, you got to get this, and then I don't. And then when I have the opportunity, I'm like, do you really need it? No, Malia, you don't need it. Okay. I bought the Sizzix circles die, the big die, so I use that. I've been using that for my circles. It goes 1 inch to 2.5 inches, and since I bought it, I've only needed to use it a couple times. So if I find a reason to do a lot of circles, that would be one thing. You know, if I got into some real serious mixed media stuff where I'm punching circles out of all kinds of painty paper colors, that would be one thing, you know, but for right now, I'm kind of living without it, and I'm okay with that. You know, I don't have a whole lot of room, so, and those punches are huge. In my little punch basket, I can only fit so many punches in there. Alright, so we got a pocket there. I do all my pockets with Aleene's on the edges, because then it can withstand a little bit more. You can make a pocket like a library pocket and tuck in your little edges. That'd be fun, you know, that would be fine. Alright, on this page, let's just make sure we don't have the, on this page, let's take the red stripes, right? The red stripes, I think, would make a nice little, or we can do we'll do the tri-fold pocket here. So let's take this and go down, right? Let's go down a little bit more, like so. Okay, and we will fold this right there, like this. Okay, I did not distress the last one. Am I terrible? Am I a terrible distresser or what? I'm telling you, I hate distressing. It's like my kryptonite. But I know I'm not the only one. I hear a lot of people complaining about distressing. So this one, I'm gonna distress it. Another 15 hours? That's rough, man. That is rough. Oh, okay. Alright. I'm gonna use my pretty punch I love this corner punch. This corner punch just makes me so happy. You're crazy, man. Hold on, honey. I don't want you playing in the couch like that, okay? Alright. So, I love this corner. This is like my favorite corner punch out of the two that Actually, I own another decorative one that comes from that like cheap little punches. You know, it's like green. No, this one's getting stuck and it really upsets me. I'm gonna have to like take it apart and I don't want to. Maybe that's why they have these 50% off all the time. Maybe these Paper Studio ones are junk. This is the only Paper Studio one I own. I own a Martha Stewart border one. I own a EK Success border one, which I really don't like. I own an EK Success doily one that really aggravates me. What other one do I own another one too. Border punch. I don't know why I bought it, honestly. I don't like that one. I never use it. Okay, quiet, okay? And my Martha Stewart one is definitely as smooth with the border punching. I never have it hang up. The EK Success one, I have to stand on it pretty much to get it to punch. It's terrible. I have a I think it's a creative, I don't know what it is, honestly. I don't know if it's a Creative Memories, maybe? Flower punch that I bought on one of those yard sale sites on Facebook, and I like how that one is. It has like the 3 different flower options. So you can have the whole flower, you can have just the border, or you can have like the decorative little flower. So I like that because it has the 3 different options and it lets me, you know, do fancy flowers. Don't push those buttons right now, okay, honey? Alright, so I got my little tri-fold one and we're going to glue that down right here with this glue stick. The only thing is these Craft Bond ones, they shed a lot of glue globs. You all know what I'm talking about if you're glue stick people. See that? It leaves a lot of glue globs. It's a glue globber. Left a glue glob right there, see it? Alright, so I'm going to put my trifold one somewhat centered so you can unfold it like this and like this. Alright, there's that one. And I do want to put one little corner tuck, maybe on this lettery page. We will do, this lettery page is kind of loud. So let's pick a subtle design here. Lillian, quiet down, please. I can hear that, but please, let's be a little quieter. It's chill out time. Alright. Let's get us a good triangle. Right? Nice, fancy, triangular. Now, I am going to put tape on the edge of this. Only because my family, they're not familiar with corner tucks. So if I do this, they're going to be like, well, why'd you just put a triangle there? Right? So I'm going to put just a piece of washi tape along here. Let us do, we'll do the pretty pink roses on the edge of it. I think pink and gray go very nicely together. So I am going to cut this straight off since it's a little wonky, and I'm going to keep my little scraps up here on my lampshade, and then I'll put them in my Fatty Patty style journal later. Okay, so let's do this, and then I'm going to cut this off straight at the end of this flower. I don't usually do this kind of stuff, but since it's going to be on a pocket, I'm going to. Okay, we'll do this, fold it over, like that, right? So you'll know that it's a little pocket. Aleenes, get your Aleenes out. Does anybody have problems with this Aleenes that's in this cap? Like, it just leaks in there. Mine just leaks in that cap, and like it's covered. I just finished cleaning that cap out, and it is covered in glue again, right there. And I'm going over the tape a little bit because my corner's sticking up a little right there. Okay? You don't have to go over the washi tape. I'm just doing it because I'm also kind of reinforcing this corner. Okay? So there we have a little corner spot. A little addition that I did to these, which was totally terrific. You can find, if you go on Pinterest or if you Google free printable labels, you will come up with a quadrillion amounts of results. Alright, so I did, and I did it for my personal journal because I like to label things in my journal when big things happen. Alright, so I did that. And I have too much big stuff in here to fit on my shelf. I have them in this box with all this crap that's fallen apart. So, put all these stickers back over here. In that package, I got these labels, which are long, skinny ones. And I got some small squares and some big ovals and some little circles and little rectangles and all different ones. And I got a zillion of them. I printed them off on full label sheets. Okay, you can buy boxes of full label sheets. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can buy huge boxes of full label sheets. I have them for my soap labels. I have full boxes, a few of them. It's not necessarily cheap, but it is not for what you can use them for in the way of crafting. You'll find yourself using them. You will use them. And I'm going to put them all along the bottom of each pocket. Okay? Go online. Even if you print them on regular paper, you can glue them. Use a good glue though. Okay? I just find the label paper to be easier. And like I said, full sheet labels. Okay? Full sheets. Repeat after me. Full sheets. Because I don't know if how many of these labels fit up to the Avery printable labels. I don't know how many of them line up to that. Okay? I know that a lot of different label software doesn't line up to the Avery labels very well. I had problems in jobs that I've had where I had to print labels and I didn't use the Avery software. Instead I used, whatever, and it didn't line up. And a lot of people even have problems with the Avery software in lining up labels, so, or whoever the brand is that they're using. So if you're going to do these types of things and you're going to print sticker printables, do it. Just get a full-size sheet and fussy cut them. You can fussy cut them like I did when I was sitting at the table at night, chilling out watching TV. I had, 80 sheets. And I had a million label sheets, and I just took my time so that I can round all my corners nice, And for this, it's worth it. It is worth it. It's going to come out nice, you know, and whoever you give it to, it's going to be what they want. You know, it'll be much easier to stick these labels on and to give them, you know, nice labeled pockets that they can just flip through and find what they need. Okay? Alright, so I'm going through. I'm not writing anything on these. That can be for them when they get it, because I don't know what they're going to use it for. If you want to make it something specific for somebody and you know that they're gonna, what kind of sections they're gonna have, you can do that. As for me, I want my aunts to be able to do whatever they want with this. Don't feel like you got to use it for XYZ. But I'm going to send with it a list of suggestions like mine. You know, one section is your to-do list. One section is your bills due. One section is your bills paid. One section is your business cards. One section is your banking deposit slips and withdrawal forms, you know. All right, there is that. And then on mine, I put some little labels on these sides, but I didn't even need them, so I didn't use them, so I'm not going to do it on here because you're not putting stuff on this side. You're putting stuff here. And this way, whoever opens it can flip through like so. They can go floop, 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 you know, and they can see all their sections. Okay? So there's that. I hope you found this helpful. You know, this one has a cover and this one doesn't, but whatever, you know. I hope you found this useful, and I hope you make one for yourself too, because it's really proven to be very handy. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below. If you have any suggestions, you know, I always love suggestions and I always love feedback, so go ahead and let me know. And I kind of wanted to take a little bit of a break from the Christmas Fatty Patty, so I wasn't boring you all with my collection journal. And I will get back to that probably tomorrow night. We'll work on that some more. So just let me know what you think, and have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.